The introduction of a study comparing temples and pyramids, in terms of their roles in afterlife beliefs, sets the stage for an exploration of how different ancient structures reflect humanity's quest to understand and navigate the afterlife. Temples and pyramids have long been regarded as significant architectural feats capable of connecting the mortal realm with the divine. While temples serve primarily as places of worship and communion with the gods, pyramids are often associated with burial practices and the enshrinement of deceased rulers, particularly in cultures like ancient Egypt. This distinction highlights each structure's perceived role in the afterlife journey, framing the debate over which holds the ultimate key. Recognizing the importance of this context is crucial, as it underscores the cultural and religious significance these structures held for ancient civilizations. Temples were seen as spaces that facilitated direct interaction with the gods, offering rituals and ceremonies to ensure favor and protection in this life and the next. Pyramids, by contrast, were considered gateways to the afterlife, meticulously designed to assist the soul's transition and secure a ruler's immortality. By examining these structures, we can glean insights into broader conceptions of death and the afterlife. Two notable examples help illustrate this point. The Karnak temple complex in Egypt, dedicated to the god Amun, displays the grandeur and religious significance temples held as centers of worship and divine interfacing. In contrast, the Great Pyramid of Giza, designed as a monumental tomb for Pharaoh Khufu, stands as an enduring symbol of the belief in an afterlife and the pharaoh's journey to eternal life. Each structure embodies the distinct yet interconnected paths ancient peoples took to secure their spiritual destinies. Opinion varies on which holds the ultimate key. Some argue temples, with their rituals and continuous community engagement, more directly address afterlife concerns. Others emphasize the permanence and symbolic passage offered by pyramids. This debate invites diverse perspectives, reflecting differing values placed on ritual versus physical legacy. Challenges arise in interpreting these ancient sites, particularly given the lack of congruent belief systems across cultures. Furthermore, some contend that assigning a singular ultimate key oversimplifies complex religious traditions. This introductory exploration sets the tone for a deeper investigation into how temples and pyramids collectively inform our understanding of ancient afterlife beliefs. It invites further inquiry into how each structure not only reflects historical perspectives on death and immortality, but also connects with broader spiritual and existential questions. Temples, as sacred structures in ancient religions, were more than mere places of worship. They were considered pivotal gateways to the divine, centers of community activity, and symbols of cosmic order. These structures served multiple roles. Not only were they spaces for ritualistic ceremonies and offerings, but they also functioned as houses of the gods, where the divine presence was believed to reside. The historical significance of temples lies in their ability to facilitate communication between the earthly and the divine realms, a concept central to many ancient cultures' understanding of life and the afterlife. In the context of temple versus pyramid, which site holds the ultimate key to the afterlife? Temples are significant as they embody a civilization's religious and philosophical beliefs about the universe and humanity's place within it. For example, the temples of ancient Egypt, such as the Temple of Karnak, were seen as microcosms of the universe, where rituals were performed to maintain Ma'at, or cosmic order. Similarly, in Hinduism, temples act as sacred sites where devotees can perform rituals to achieve moksha, or liberation from the cycle of rebirth. One notable example is the Parthenon in ancient Greece, which was dedicated to Athena, the goddess of wisdom. The Parthenon not only functioned as a religious center, but also as a symbol of Athenian democracy and cultural supremacy. Another example is the Angkor Wat complex in Cambodia, originally built as a Hindu temple and later converted to a Buddhist temple, reflecting the dynamic nature of religious practices and temple significance. Supporters of the primacy of temples argue that these structures are active spiritual hubs that engage communities in continual religious and social activities, fostering a living tradition of faith. However, challenges and controversies can arise regarding the interpretation and preservation of these sites, as their meanings and uses have evolved over time and across cultures. Temples influence other aspects of the main topic by highlighting the contrast between their roles as active centers of worship and the pyramid's more static function as monumental tombs. This dynamic interaction underlines the different approaches ancient civilizations had towards navigating the afterlife. In comparing temples and pyramids, examining the multifaceted roles of temples helps us understand their significance as potential keys to the afterlife, emphasizing the theme of life, death, and beyond as a complex interplay of belief, architecture, and culture. The concept of pyramids as architectural wonders and their connection to the afterlife is rooted in the ancient civilizations, particularly in Egypt, where these majestic structures were erected as tombs for pharaohs and elite members of society. Pyramids served not only as monumental architectural achievements but also as spiritual vessels that facilitated the transition of the deceased into the afterlife. The significance of pyramids in this context lies in their dual purpose. They symbolize both the peak of human engineering and a profound commitment to beliefs in life after death. Central to their design is the notion that the pyramid's shape and careful alignment with celestial bodies, like Orion's belt, were intended to aid the soul's journey to the divine. For the ancient Egyptians, these structures were more than just resting places. They were gateways to eternity, guaranteeing immortality for those entombed within. One exemplary illustration of this is the Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. This pyramid, attributed to Pharaoh Khufu, is not only a testament to ancient Egyptian engineering prowess, but also to their religious dedication. Another example can be found in the pyramids of Teotihuacan, in present-day Mexico, which, though different in purpose and construction from the Egyptian pyramids, also carried religious significance and tied into beliefs surrounding the afterlife and cosmic order. Many scholars support the idea that these architectural feats are closely tied to religious and celestial symbolism, suggesting they reflect humanity's enduring quest for connection with the divine. However, there are challenges and controversies surrounding these beliefs. For example, some argue that attributing such deep religious significance to these structures overlooks practical purposes they might have served or simplifies a more complex cultural understanding of death. Additionally, alternative viewpoints propose that while pyramids were grandiose, they were not necessarily more spiritually significant than temples, which often played central roles in daily religious practices and community life. These different perspectives spark debate over which structure, temple, or pyramid held a truer path to the afterlife. This discussion on the architectural and spiritual significance of pyramids enriches the main topic by highlighting how these mighty structures blend practical and spiritual roles. They stand as a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring desire to bridge the gap between the earthly and the ethereal, influencing how we perceive the connection between architecture, spirituality, and the afterlife in ancient cultures. The concept of symbolism and rituals, comparing temple and pyramid practices, delves into the distinct yet intertwined roles that temples and pyramids have played in ancient civilizations, particularly regarding their spiritual and ritualistic significance. Both structures served as sacred spaces, yet they embodied different aspects of the journey to the afterlife. Temples were often designed as a home for the gods, a place for human interaction with the divine. The rituals performed within temple walls, such as offerings, prayers, and festivals, were believed to maintain cosmic order and divine favor, directly influencing an individual's fate in the afterlife. Pyramids, particularly in ancient Egypt, were monumental tombs. They symbolized the pharaoh's ascent to the afterlife and were imbued with symbolic architecture, such as alignment with celestial bodies, which represented the deceased ruler's journey to immortality. This comparison is crucial in understanding the broader theme of temple versus pyramid, which site holds the ultimate key to the afterlife. It highlights how different societies conceptualize the afterlife and the pathways to reach it, reflecting distinct cultural values and theological beliefs. Specific examples illustrate these practices vividly. In ancient Egypt, The Temple of Karnak served as a focal point for the worship of Amun-Ra, where daily rituals aimed to sustain the god's presence on earth and ensure the pharaoh's legitimacy and eternal life. In contrast, the Great Pyramid of Giza served as a grand proclamation of Pharaoh Khufu's divine status and his journey to join the gods in the afterlife. Its precise alignment with the stars was intended to serve as a celestial guide for the deceased king's soul. Some scholars support the idea that temples and pyramids, despite their differences, worked in tandem to ensure a successful passage to the afterlife. Temples focused on the living's interaction with the divine, and pyramids on the eternal journey post-mortem. However, there are debates about their true purposes. Some argue that pyramids were primarily political and social tools to assert power, while others believe temples were more about community and cultural identity than spiritual practices. The relationship between temples and pyramids sheds light on the complex web of beliefs about life, death, and the divine in ancient cultures. This exploration not only provides insight into historical thinking, but also challenges contemporary perceptions of how ancient societies understood mortality and the afterlife, inviting reflection on the universal human quest to understand what lies beyond death. Share, like, and subscribe for more.